Well, I think the turtle platform is set. We got the rocks put up. Everything is set in stone all the way around. We got nice little table here to set stuff on the high point. Nice flat rock here we can put things on, do all kinds of stuff with. But see, we've got everything but the top mountain set in stone, and we're just going to leave that as it is, just in case we ever want to add on to that or do something different with the dehue. We can remove that and do something different with that. So we might change that one day, but for now, this is what it looks like. We've got the back side created in. Everything is straight as much as possible anyway. You can see that I didn't want that concrete coming out like looking like that basically. So we basically, when you come in, you see this, no concrete. And then we start the concrete right around on this side here and not in here. So you can see that we're on the inside through here. And this is just for looks. That's the look I was going for. I didn't want to see concrete all pushing out. And I think we achieved that. So when you come in now, you don't see any concrete up in here or on the outside here. You see it on the inside. We just flip-flopped it basically as we went on around. And the soil will come up to around here, leave us some room here. We'll adjust all the soil once we get where we want to be, get everything lined up, everything in here. So we're going to be doing the horizontal soil system. We'll put it all on this. I'm going to set it up just like we set up this, so you'll get a first-hand look. And it's super simple. It's really nothing to it. It's basic, what do I say, earth structure. If you stuck a shovel down in the ground, you kind of go, they call it a horizontal soil system because there are layers to it. I've been following Leighton Morrison on Future Cannabis Project, and now he's over on It's All About the Biology on Mondays at 5. But he's the person that I've learned this from, and if set up correctly and you have enough space, it's awesome. I mean, it's really just like setting up a wicking system basically, but you're using all natural thing. You're not using any type of lava rock to wick water up. What we're using is the sand, the silt, and the clay to wick. So it's all about this sand, silt, and clay. It's on the edges. You can see we've detached it some right through here just because we were getting so much water being wicked up. We were getting too much water. We got water in our hole right now simply because we don't have any plants in here wicking that water up. So all that sand, silt, and clay wicks that water up into the soil bed, and if there aren't any roots there to wick all that excess water we don't want sitting in that soil, continues to go down through its layers, hitting that sand, silt. So that sand and silt at the bottom is also wicking. So that's what's holding. So picture a sandwich, picture a cheeseburger. The soil is the cheeseburger, and the top bun is the sand, silt, and clay, and then the bottom bun is the sand, silt, and clay. And we've sandwiched the soil in between the two. So we're wicking water up over through the sand, silt, and clay across the top. The excess goes down into the soil, goes down into it gets basically wicked from both sides, and it works. Like once the worms and the biology start mixing all the sand and silt and turning it into nutrient for the plants, hopefully I don't have to do anything but add the sand, silt, and clay to the edges as it gets eaten and gets devoured and used, and we just have to continue to add those minerals as they're used, like chopping and dropping this big beast here. We're going to be taking this and just cutting it, and like we've been doing, and chopping and dropping right into the soil. That's what we're doing. It's that simple, and we just keep layering it. So just like compost, we're composting right here in the bed. Your greens, your browns, your greens, your browns. So the brown is the IMO 4 and 5 that we bring in, and then the greens are the plants that we chop and drop. And this is a cycle that we just continue to do forever. It's really just that simple. We can bring in any type of add, like kelp meal. Like I got some kelp meal the other day just to top off the bed, so I'll show you. We've got some gypsum here. That's just powder. I haven't used that in here in the bed. I use that outdoors. But this kelp meal here, this is really all you would really need. Promotes plant growth. I mean, this is basically the kelp is. I think old farmers would call alfalfa. Like if you grow alfalfa out in the field, they would call that field kelp. And this just has like 70 or 80 plus minerals, all different types of stuff that comes out to sea. It's not high in NPK at all, 102. But it has those trace minerals, elements in it that come out of the sea that the kelp sucks up out of that salt water. And it's great for plants. Plants love it. And if we were going to use it in here, we haven't yet, but what we would do is just sprinkle it on the top, just in our soil beds. Just take maybe a cup per hole, basically a cup, and we'll do that before we bring in new plants, new anything. Right now we're just chopping and dropping, and I mean literally I could put the kelp in right now. It's not a big deal. It's just literally an additive, an amendment, they say. One of the few amendments that I do use in our IMOs, so we sprinkle in our worms love it. So let the worm, you can put it in your worm bed and let the worms run through the kelp first, and then have that kelp in those worm castings. Money. Look at Hooters over here eating. How big? Ah, he's a monster. Pond is cloudy this morning because I ran a water hose through. You can see how clean it is through here. I just ran the water hose right on through there. Come on now, there we go. Stuck the water hose in through there. Just let all that poo and stuff just cycle on through and just keep it flowing. Really wasn't that whole lot in there. It's really not that dirty. See Digger, you don't mind. There he is, that's your mouth. Get on up in there in that sun. He's growing too. Eats well. I'm not sure if he's male or female yet. Hard to tell when they're that small, when he's no bigger than a 50-cent piece. Maybe a little bigger than that with the head sticking out, but that's about it. I don't see Cooter or Scooter, but I know they're in there. Like I said, it's cloudy in there right now. That's how much is in the water. And over there it's the same too. Lots of roots. Got the monstera. We got a lot of that root from this new monstera. This is the new one, and this is ours. One's been in here forever. Well, not in here, but I've had it in that little tiny pot inside. It's been stagnant for years, but hopefully we're going to get some good growth out of that. And we're going to be chopping some of these roots off, like some of this stuff here is just doesn't need to be on there. Thin some of this out and just throw the roots over here in the soil and be good to go. Oh, I see. Well, you're not going to be able to see them. It's too cloudy, but I see cooters. One of them was floating down through there. But yeah, that's all we're doing today. We're going to lay the plastic down in here. What I'm going to do, instead of doing pond shield, I decided just to bring, kind of put a bowl of that farmer's plastic down there at the bottom and bring it up about 5 inches from the bottom. Just create a nice little bowl for the water to sit in. Then we can bring the pea gravel in. Then we'll bring the sand, silt, and clay to fill in the gaps of the pea gravel, and the sand, silt, and clay get me a layer of about 3 or 4 inches. That's 3 inches or so on top of that pea gravel, and that's what the soil will sit on top of that sand, the same sand, silt, and clay that we use in the creek and in the pond. Same stuff that's in the soil. So we're going to set it up in the horizontal system and go from there. And it should be fun. And once we get that set up, once we get the soil in and the mulch in, then we can start designing the how we want everything to look for Digger's home. We're going to have, I don't know, we're going to have a nice little home in there. Might have even a bridge. I was thinking about building a bridge for them to be able to, like, wood come up, like a stump almost, that comes up to here, and then a bridge that comes over. They can just walk up over the bridge into like a little wooden bridge. I think that would be cool. And then they can explore their terrestrial area over here, and they'll have a nice little pond to go to, and everybody will be happy. We hope. I hope everybody has a great day, and I appreciate everybody taking a gander with us, and we'll see you tomorrow.